Sunday morning. Radio murmuring. Fog sitting low over Redwood Bay. Sienna tapped her fork twice on porcelain like a metronome and watched me butter toast as if I were diffusing a charge with shaky hands. That thing you do with your lips, the little click. It's irritating, she said. Easy as weather talk. I looked up. What thing? She clicked her tongue, neat and practiced. You do it after coffee. Drives me up the wall. 10 years and today's the day I say it. The mug paused midair. That click has seniority in this house, I said. I'm serious, Noah. It's juvenile. Juvenile. I leaned back. Anything else while we're doing the audit? That tone, the sarcasm, it's exhausting. I strangled the reply that wanted to leap out and replaced it with, I'll keep my mouth quiet and my lips glued. Her fork froze. She pushed her plate away like she'd just remembered calories exist. If I'd known where that breakfast was headed, I would have taken my coffee onto the back steps and redrawn my map right then. We drove to the co-op in silence. On the way out, the checker, lanky and polite, said, Have a good one. I gave him the click, a lab demo. Sienna's jaw tightened. Not a fluke. At home, I started like always. Checked bids on the Baxter kitchen redo. Answered a text from Tate, my foreman, about lumber that arrived bowed. Moved money between accounts. Sienna banged drawers, hunting a whisk that's lived in the same slot longer than some marriages. Lose it? I asked. You reorganized again. You hide things in plain sight. It's called putting them back. She slammed the drawer. You put things back where you want them. It's controlling. The whisk sat right there in its cradle. You can move it wherever you like. That's not the point. She tossed the smoke grenade and left. The old me would have followed, asked what I did wrong, knelt at the altar of nuance for an hour and offered to buy a new whisk. The new me poured more coffee, no click, and called Tate. Everything good? He asked. On schedule, I said. I'm cutting out at 3. Also, tell anyone who asks we're done hosting Porch Pinot Thursdays. If they press, I've got bids to close. That's tomorrow night, right? Was first initiative, I canceled a ritual that turned our living room into a complaint desk while I played bartender and Sienna played curated warmth. No fight, off the calendar. At dinner, she read my mind. Nadia texted. She's excited for tomorrow, let her know I canceled. I told Cole we're meeting him at the range Saturday. She blinked. You canceled without asking me. It's at our house. I'm the one washing glassware. Thursday is off petty efficient. A single laugh from her, no humor stuck to it. Since when do you act unilaterally? Since breakfast. She had 8 retorts lined up behind her teeth. She picked one. You've changed. Apparently I click less. Plate push number 2 in one day. It wasn't about salad. The next morning, I drafted a proposal in the garage while the fog lifted. Mrs. Alvarez walked by with her terrier, waved through the open bay. You two coming to the street fair Saturday? She called. Dropping by, I said. Bring your ribs. She smiled. I'll bring my quiet lips, I said. She laughed, not knowing the joke had a spine. Inside, Sienna's voice carried from speakerphone. I don't know, Nadia. He's different lately. It's like he thinks whatever. I'll call you after work. I leaned on the bench and tried to knead 10 years into something smooth. A new voice in my head interrupted. It isn't need anymore. I found Sienna at the counter with her tablet. You need the car tomorrow? For what anything? I'm taking the truck at 9. Out late. Cole and I, range, lunch, parts run. You could ask what I'm doing first. I'm asking now. I guess I'll rearrange my life. I guess you will. She stood. Why are you like this? You started keeping score. I'm just updating the board. She took her weather upstairs. The whisk wasn't the flare. Neither was the click. It was the tone, the steady message that I was a problem to be managed. By Wednesday, she shifted angles. You know you breathe loud at night. It's called being alive. It's snoring. Want me to book a sleep study? Don't be dramatic. I'm offering a solution. She exhaled hard. You never take me seriously. I just canceled a neighborhood debate about oat milk. I'm evolving. Her phone lit the room. She scrolled. See? You always joke you're auditing my breathing. That's premium material. Can we not do this? We are doing this. She rolled away. Cold, not a freeze-out. Not yet, just the HVAC kicking on. Thursday came without ceremony. At lunch, I texted Cole. We're on for Saturday. Also, tell Nadia not to bring anyone here tomorrow. Wine night is dead, thumbs up, and a laugh I didn't need. When Sienna got home, she carried crackers and 2 bottles. She stopped in the entryway at the sight of a room that wasn't staged. No extra chairs, no platter. What are you doing? Enjoying my house, you didn't even warn me. Dinner, I told you, you don't get to pull the plug like that. I just did. Her mouth went thin, the shape she uses on call centers. Fine, we'll host at Nadia's. I'll text everyone, text away, you're not coming. No, people will talk. Let them say I don't click anymore. She stared. You're trying to punish me. I'm taking my time back. She nodded like she understood. That night she came down with tea and 2 mugs, sat close like we hadn't tugged all week. I overreacted Sunday, she said. The click thing was stupid. I'm stressed, work, Nadia's mess, my sister moving. I sipped chamomile. My favorite, okay, you help. You always help. I appreciate you, you know. I like hearing that. I don't say it enough. No, you don't. So maybe we compromise. I keep my wine night. You keep your Saturday. Separate lanes, happier roads, warm tone, appreciation, and a return to the schedule with a new shirt on it. Already canceled the standing thing, I said. We can host quarterly, clear, simple, no gray zones. Quarterly? Once a season? Fall is booked. Winter's yours? Calendar math, that's extreme, it's a boundary. Her face told me tea wasn't buying yesterday. You're different, she said again. I nodded. I was. I'd moved my line from invisible to painted. At work Friday, Ruth, my boss, pencil skirt and steel-toe boots, called me in. You look like you slept in the truck. Home's noisy, I said. You want out of the Kincaid build? Mason can run point, I've got it. She watched me. You've been solid for years. Fix what's loud before it walks onto my site. Understood? Message received, I started splitting time clean. No more late-night supplier texts on the couch while Sienna scrolled and joked about my phone marriage. When I sat because I chose it. When I worked, I shut the garage door. By the street fair, the air around our place had shifted. Mrs. Alvarez cornered me by the grill. You two okay? She asked. We're fine. You're not as social. Good for you, she said, eyes kind. Men rarely claim their time. That upset her. I laughed. She'll live. Keep paying my husband when he helps you lift cabinets, Sienna joined with a plate. Holding court? She asked. Just chatting. You didn't tell her we argued, did you? I told her I canceled wine night. You make everything public. You announced at 2 a.m. that I breathe wrong. That was pretty public for the 2 of us. She turned to Mrs. Alvarez. He's impossible. Light-voiced, joke-shaped Mrs. Alvarez didn't laugh. He's decisive. There's a difference. Sienna's smile thinned. Well, I'm gonna say hi to Nadia. I filed away who noticed truth and who didn't. Sunday night, pivot number 2. She brought home ribs from my favorite spot, set the table, dimmed the lights, wore the dress I once said made her look like a summer evening on the coast. Poured me a beer, bribing a witness, or being nice, which, both, I miss you. You've been 3 feet from me all week. You know what I mean? Spell it. Get us back on the same page. I'll stop picking at stupid things, and the not stupid things. You're impossible, she smiled into the words. Take the win. I'll take the ribs. The rest has to earn itself. We clinked. Deal. It lasted 40 hours. Tuesday, we had plans to swing by Cole's garage to tune the carb on the old bike I was resurrecting. Sienna walked in from yoga. I promised Nadia we'd hang her mirror tonight. How heavy? Not the point. Plans are flexible, mine aren't. Cole's got a kid. He schedules life in 15-minute blocks. I gave him 6. So you're choosing Cole over me. I'm choosing my word. Noble, she said. The new you is very noble. Less available, I said. Why are you punishing me? Consequences, I said. She blinked like no one had said that to her out loud. At the garage, Cole already had the carb in pieces. You good? He asked, eyes on screws. Define good. He wiped his hands. Nadia texted me. I'm staying neutral, but here's what I'll say. You were a carpet. Now you're hardwood. Don't become a brick wall, I'm not a wall. I'm a door, hinged, and I know where the lock is. Fair. Back home, Sienna shifted again. Less nitpicking, more distance. Longer hours at work. Then come home with a satchel full of critiques for wherever I set my shoes. We used to try new restaurants, she said, not looking at me. You hate waiting for a table. We could make reservations if someone planned ahead. I plan job sites for a living. Saturday, cedar and ash. She wrinkled her nose. That's rustic. You just asked me to pick. Do you listen to me? You're allergic to success, I said calmly. She went upstairs. The undercurrent got louder. My patience used to be a strength. Now it looked like bait to her. My boundary looked like defiance, and defiance is something to tame. Her birthday landed 2 weeks later. We planned a small thing at Cole and Nadia's loft. Mason and his fiancée, Mrs. Alvarez and her husband, 2 people from Sienna's office. I grilled on the terrace. People brought grocery store sides and passed them off as heritage. Sienna was electric, laugh a notch too bright, stories stretched 3 details too far, eyes scanning for approval like a radar dish. Someone asked how we met. I hadn't told it in years. It came out easy. The autumn harvest fair. Sienna at a booth with a jar of jelly beans and a guest sign. I asked for a clue. She told me to move along. I guessed anyway and won a mug I still use when it storms. I asked her out. She said she was booked until 2045. Then it snowed in October. Her power died. My generator hummed. People laughed. I wasn't performing. I was remembering. You were beautiful and stubborn. I was practical and relentless. Bad combo to resist. Sienna soaked in the warmth like a plant in a window. And then she said it. Honestly, if I'd had a shot, I probably should have gone back to my ex. Breezy. Clever, she thought. Silence fell so clean you could hear the ice settle in a glass. It took her 1 second to realize what she'd done. Faces swung, her to me. My expression shifted without effort, like someone dimmed the room from inside. I had been telling a love story. She turned it into a punchline with my name on it. Kidding, she said. Obviously kidding. I set the tongs down. You'll get that shot, I said. Tomorrow. Keys. Pocket. Door. People move the way people do when they don't know whether to block or clear the path. Noah, wait, Nadia started. It's fine. I'm going to give Sienna exactly what she wants. Options. Mrs. Alvarez touched my forearm. You don't have to leave, I do. I won't stand in a room where my life is a prop. Mason lifted a hand, then let it fall. Call me if you need anything. Eat the ribs, I said, and walked out. Hotel on the edge of town. Clean carpets. Clerk who minds her business. 2 nights up front. The artwork was a fake tree in a fake field. I sat on the bed and thought, you drew a line. Then you stepped over it. Good. Keep walking. 9 a.m., county building. Doors opened. Paperwork is just chores with staples. I stood in line. Filled what they gave me. Asked 2 questions. Filed what needed filing. Not a performance. A cleaning storage unit, boxes, tape gun, home, Sienna's car in the drive. House smelling like garlic and lemon candles. Chargers out, holiday only. She wore the same dress from rib night. Eyes bright, the kind that have cried and reapplied. You're early, she said. I'm on schedule. I made lunch. Chicken piccata I messed up. Bad joke, I panicked. I said something I didn't mean. I walked past her to the bedroom, pulled my duffel. Can you stop and listen? I am listening. Then say something. I did last night. You'll end 10 years over 1 joke? No. Her eyes searched for the trapdoor. Then what are you doing? Ending it because you left a while ago. You've been poking, prodding, shifting goalposts, auditing my breath. You've been telling me daily I'm not someone you like. Last night you said it out loud with witnesses. Jokes tell the truth, that's not fair. I'm stressed. I've had a lot. I'm not perfect, neither am I. I'm consistent. And I'm done being an unpaid project manager for your moods. That's cruel, that's clear. Please, after lunch? I cooked, I set the table. I called Nadia and told her I was wrong. She said to apologize. I'm sure she did. Please, Noah. I zipped the bag. I have a storage unit. I'll take what's mine. You can keep the drama you filed? Yes. She blinked fast, scanning for loopholes. We can fix this. You can fix how you speak to people who feed you and show up for you. You can fix your jokes. You can fix your habits. You can't fix our paperwork. She tried nostalgia. Remember the road trip to Sedona? That picnic table? You held my hand and said you'd never give up on me. I'm not giving up on you. I'm done accepting what you're offering. In the kitchen, she gripped a chair back. So that's it? That's it. Do you love me at all? I did, deeply, for a long time. I still respect the woman I married. She doesn't live here anymore, she flinched, then reached for the last card. So you don't care about 10 years? You'll toss them for one mistake? You're cold. What happened to not quitting? What happened to love? You've been tossing them piece by piece. I'm just collecting what's left. I packed tools, boots, shirts, left the aunt's ugly lamp. The bookshelf I meant to replace. The wedding album that belonged to both of us and therefore neither, not right now. At the door, she called, "Sharp, are you seriously ending this over one bad joke? Are you that cold?" I turned. You walked away months ago. You just finally did it with an audience. Yesterday was the first honest thing you've said in months. I closed the door. Not hard, not soft, closed. I didn't look back. Some scenes don't get a second take. Life simplified itself. Paperwork did its job. We used a mediator. Sold the house, good market, quick close. Split the proceeds down the center line. I rented a small place with a garage big enough to breathe in. Took on more work than was wise. Ruth raised an eyebrow. You're chasing something. I'm building something. Same motion, different fuel. Don't run out, I didn't. I ate late. Slept early. Kept routines tight. Mason and I started lifting before sunrise twice a week because the extra electricity needed burning. He didn't pry. He spotted. We racked. Left Fridays, Cole dragged me to a bar with decent wings and tragic music. You're not sitting in a box alone all year, he said. Orders. I hate your orders, everyone does. They work anyway. He and Nadia had their rhythm. Nadia took Sienna's side for a while, then stopped bringing it up when I refused to argue my dignity. She said you were cruel, Nadia murmured one night, eyes on her drink. I was clear. You canceled her life. I canceled my participation. Nadia nodded, something releasing in her face. She's moving north near her sister. Needs support. She'll find what she needs. Nadia, quit with the updates after that. That's the point of a line. You don't cross it to check the weather. Things gathered themselves. I bought a used truck that didn't rattle at 70. Finished the bike. Rode it to a coffee shop on Sundays where the owner knew I took it black and saved me the window stool. The sale gave me a down payment to aim at a small house with a yard and a garage I could turn into a shop. I made a spreadsheet, ugly, efficient. Looked at a place on Walnut Street with a porch that needed sanding and a cracked slab I could fix with my hands. Friends tugged me into small life. A dawn fishing trip where we spoke 20 words in 6 hours and caught one stubborn fish. A baseball game we left in the 8th to beat the crush. A volunteer day building a ramp for a vet across town. Working shoulder to shoulder with strangers reminded me what I like about people. At Mason's birthday, I met Ivy. What do you do? She asked, I told her. And when you're not doing that? Apparently this, I said, she laughed. I hate small talk. We talked about cities we hadn't seen and recipes we'd murdered. I didn't ask for her number. She didn't offer. I left when I was ready and told Mason to invite me again next time. Some nights were loud with quiet. I'd look at unopened boxes and consider the one with old photos. Then I'd turn off the light and let the past stay in its cardboard. A month after the sale, Sienna texted. I moved. Thanks for making it civil. You're welcome, I typed. Sent it. No more. Nadia mentioned in passing that Sienna didn't keep much of our circle. Coworkers stayed coworkers. The neighborhood wasn't hers anymore. She posted photos with her sister's kids and a pie that needed 10 more minutes. I didn't look. Nadia showed me once by accident. I handed her phone back without comment. You ever think she started. No, I did what I should have done. Only regret? Waiting for a public moment. I should have acted when I started measuring my breathing. That was low, she winced. It was accurate. Will you date? When I want to. Not because I'm bored. Good answer. Here's mine. If you ask why I didn't try harder, I'll tell you trying is cheap when the other person's job is to keep you off balance. I don't need to win an argument about my tone to know whether I'm respected. I don't need to lecture someone into treating me like a partner. I do need to leave when I'm turned into a prop. 10 years were good until they weren't. We had real laughter, real work, real plans. I don't throw those out. I file them under experience and move. I believed in the woman I married because she showed me who she was. I stopped believing when she showed me who she'd become. Now I'm looking at that Walnut Street place. The porch I'll sand, the slab I'll mend. My crew is solid. Mason's getting married in the fall. Cole's kid starts t-ball and apparently I'm the helmet guy now. Ivy texts about a new coffee place. I text back that the old one works fine, but sure, I'll try it. I keep my lines painted. I go where I'm respected. If love shows up, it will find a man who knows how quiet he wants his nights and how loud he's willing to celebrate. A man who won't bargain with his dignity or perform for a room to keep someone else comfortable. As for Sienna, I hope she learns to want what she actually wants. I hope the people around her tell the truth when she starts testing fences. I hope she figures out attention isn't oxygen and that jokes land better when they're not aimed at the person who would have torn down a wall to bring in more light. Do I miss the Harvest Fair mug? Sometimes. It got lost in the shuffle. I drink from an ugly chipped one now. It holds coffee just fine. Sometimes after the first sip, the click slips out. No one complains. In my kitchen, it sounds like timekeeping. Steady. Mine. And if anyone at my table ever says it's irritating, I'll smile, push back my chair, and gesture to the door that's already open. If you made it this far, you probably felt something. Help me hit 7,000 subscribers. Tap like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this with a friend who needs a line to paint. Your feedback genuinely matters.